Terry Conrad Designs and Bloom True, and I'm here to share with you a brand new craft project from Grafix Arts Plastic. These are pre-printed Dura-Lar films, and this package happens to be designed by me, and it is the Whimsical Floral set, and it is full of line art florals and butterflies, floral borders, floral frames with sentiments and inspirational messages. There's even one full sheet of vintage inspired text with uplifting and encouraging sentiments in the text. And I'm also going to be using in our tutorial today the double mounted tack film. And this is great for adhering any elements, whether it's the film that you're using, paper product, or anything else, and adhering that to your surface. In today's project, we're going to make this darling journal. I've gone ahead and stitched it together and collaged it ahead of time. And these are just some vintage papers and then patterns and such that I've designed. This is painted. And what we're going to be doing is using some of the elements in one of the sheets, cutting them out and adhering them with the double tack film, and then we'll color the florals. And then on this page, I cut out one of the florals and I'm using it just as the black and clear line art because I like the dynamic look of that. So let's get started with our project today. Let's take a quick look at the supplies we'll be using in our project today. As I mentioned, I made this hand-stitched journal off camera, very simple. There are lots of tutorials online for something like this. I even have one on my own channel at Bloom True. I have a selection of papers that I've printed and that are from my personal stash, and I have selected a couple of the elements from the sheet with the floral frames on it. I'm using the double tack mounting film and of course the new Dura-Lar prints. And I have chosen the floral envelope, and I'm also going to be using some of the florals that are available on one of the sheets. And I'll be cutting this out and applying it to a page in my journal, and then tucking in some inspirational messages, affirmations that I've typed up and that have meaning for me. Now, I like trimming my edges slightly off the edge of the line art, and that gives a little bit of a border on the finished piece when you're completed with your trimming. Now in this clip you can see that I've increased the speed of the film just to expedite this process. I can't imagine you want to sit here and watch me cut out my entire piece. So once it's finished, I'm going to set that aside and trim the back paper that I want behind the film. I have one of my printed papers, and I'm going to set the floral envelope on top of the paper just to get a sense of the size of it. And if you'll bear with me, I am not a hard and fast measure. I tend to eyeball things, whether I'm measuring something at home to put on a wall or a piece of paper or even fabric, believe it or not. So do as you wish, whatever's comfortable for you. If you feel like you need to trace the image and cut it, or even scotch tape it temporarily to your back paper and trim along the edges. I'm refining the V portion of the decorative paper, and that, once it's applied, you'll see that through the printed Dura-Lar. And there you go. See? Isn't that pretty? I love this. Now, right now, you can see me working in action. I'm looking at placement and deciding exactly where I want this to go. I know I want the decorative paper to be very visible, and I'm going to color those flowers with some Posca pens, and I want those to pop. And I want this journal to be themed around the idea of positive messaging and personal affirmations. And so to convey that message, I decided to put this on the opening page. That way, when I look at it, or if I decide to share this with someone, they'll immediately know what my intention is with this journal and what I wanted it to be all about. Now, I'm just using some glue here to quickly affix the decorative paper to the inside side of my journal page. I've used a brayer just to press down on that decorative paper and get any bubbles out of it. And now I'm looking for placement of the printed Dura-Lar. I'm turning it over and I'm going to color the flowers before I affix it to the inside journal page. And I suggest that you color on the back side. That way, when you turn it over to the front side, the color is on the back side and you see the black line art pop on top of the color. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the clip here, and you can see the colors that I'm choosing, but again, just for the sake of time, so you don't have to watch me color in the entire piece, I'm going to speed up the clip for just a minute, and then I'll pop back in and we'll finish this page. Okay, we've finished coloring, and you want to let this dry for a good 10 minutes or so. That way the medium that you use, whether it's Posca pens or acrylic paint or alcohol ink, it won't smudge. Next, you want to trim 3 small pieces of the double mounted tack film, and we're going to apply it to the left, right, and bottom section of the printed Dura-Lar floral envelope, and then we'll use that to affix it to the decorative paper. Once you've applied your double-mounted tack film to the left, right, and bottom sides of your decorative paper, go ahead and lay the Dura-Lar printed floral envelope on top of it, leaving the top side open, and that way you can tuck in any messages that you want. All right, I'm having fun and I want to keep going and create another page. I hope you'll come along with me. I'm keeping this one sweet and simple. I'm just applying a little bit of glue to a strip of paper and placing that on the edge of the book paper just to give it a little decorative touch. And then I'm going to take well, you can see I'm taking my brayer just to work out any extra glue or bubbles. And I'm trimming this sweet floral, and again going along the edge of the line art, but leaving like 2/8 of an inch border all the way around. Once you have your florals completely trimmed out, I'm just kind of moving it around my page, deciding where I want to place it. And I actually like that open space on the bottom where there's a little bit of the kind of the soft white. So what I'm going to do is apply 3 strips of the double mounted tack film to the back side of this floral. Next, you'll peel off the other side of the paper, and that will reveal the adhesive, and you can decide where you want to place it on your journal page. Again, on this page, I've decided to use the black line art florals just as is. It's a dynamic look, and I really like it. You can color these in with a variety of medium, and as you can see on the left page, again, I used Posca pens with mine. And on this page, I'm just going to color in a little bit of a background on the book page to lay my sentiment down. We have a lovely 2-page spread in our handmade journal. We have the new printed Dura-Lar floral frame from the Whimsical Floral set. We're tucking in some affirmations, and then on our second page we use the line art florals just as is for a clean and simple look. In today's art project, we use the brand new Dura-Lar prints, the Whimsical Florals collection, designed by me, Terry Conrad Designs, for Bloom True. And this is made available to you through Grafix Arts Plastics and is available for purchase at the link listed below in the description. Thanks for joining me today.